The Bad Batch Season 2 returns with episode 10 titled Retrieval. It's a follow-up from last week's episode, where our squad managed to end up stranded in a remote world and needed to ask Sid for help. The question remains, will she help Clone Force 99 or will she just abandon them? Greetings my young Padawans, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Star Wars Now. It's hard to imagine we're already at the 10th episode of Season 2 of The Bad Batch, but here we are. Like always, before we jump into the video, use the Force and hit that subscribe and like button to never miss a video from myself and the team here at Star Wars Now. As always, if you're talking about Star Wars, we want to hear about it.
So you think you could come here and steal from me?
Technically, this ship belongs to us.
Not anymore.
Continuing on from last week, Tech gets some great lines. His delivery to Mako about technically you stole from us was predictable but good Tech style in my opinion. These two episodes have very much enhanced Tech for me. Perhaps now we have Echo gone or out of the way, we can give some more focus to Tech. Echo and Tech basically serve the same function in the group, so with one gone, one can shine without the small character moments being shared between two different characters. That I like and want to see more of. At the end of last week, we were told that Sid was going to organise something to help the Bad Batch off-world after the ship had been lost. But in the end, the Bad Batch get their ship back and there was no sign of Sid's help. Obviously she says it will take time to arrange something, and the Bad Batch gets their ship back pretty quickly, but it still feels odd. It does enhance this feeling we've been told all season that Sid is not really that trustworthy, and that the Bad Batch is better on their own and helping each other, rather than relying on the world of a Trandoshan underworld boss. Apart from advancing the idea that Sid might not help them at all, there was really no other point to show Sid was going to help. Last episode could have ended much better if they got out of a mine and realised they were truly stuck on the planet and the music swells and it's the end of the episode, but instead they had the Sid moment. It doesn't serve anything. We're still waiting to see where this Sid stuff is going, and maybe we'll view this inclusion of Sid a little better when we know where it's heading in the conclusion of it. I would like to have seen Sid turn up at the end and be like, where is everybody? That would have been kind of funny and maybe sort of close this loop a little bit. Benny was an alright character. We see he's a good thief and his character is brought to life by the veteran voice actor Yuri Lowenthal. However, what is nice is we get to see how naively slips throughout this episode into the true nature of some people. He trusts Mako and believes there's justice and righteousness in his system because he provides all of the labourers at the mine. However, only when he realises it's not done out of kindness but out of a means of control does he finally realise how foolish and naive he had been, standing up and now doing the right thing. It's predictable but good. He originally helps the Bad Batch get back their ship, but is willing to get them found and apprehended by Mako even in the control tower, because even though he has come to understand the Bad Batch and Omega, he is still under the control of Mako, Mako, whatever you want to call him. Talking of Mako, he's essentially introduced like a mob boss to us. He oversees Ellipsium mine and seems to run almost child labour, keeping them fed with only the basic supplies while he hoards all the food. It's a pretty grim scene of him eating an entire buffet table. I will say Mako's design is very good. He has a robotic arm, which is cool, as well as a cane on the other hand. Well, with his more well-fed size, you can really see how well he compares to the kids who are starving. Jonathan Lippo does a great job voicing Mako, and though his dialogue really sells how little Mako really cares about the miners, even when he's being nice, you can sense the lack of care in his voice. Some nice world building for this place is that this is a Ellipsium mine used to be run by the Techno Union. But after the Empire formed, the Techno Union has probably lost a lot of territory under the power of them working for the Separatists, and most of their forces were shut down. This is also probably why Mako has a giant supply of droids to guard him, which also has a very cool design. It looks like something in a command droid body, and at first I thought they were commander droids, but they've got a different head. The Techno Union did make the most varied droids out of the already varied droid army of the Separatists, so a custom droid for guarding a mine does make sense. After Benny is given the data of the Ipsium mines, the abundant supplies, and large profits by Omega, that is where our uprising happens. It's predictable, the miners basically rise up after realising they've been lied to and instantly turn on Mako, even those who comprise his inner circle. How this new people's mine of Ipsium will go, considering the Empire is out there and is notorious for stealing mines from people for resources, it could be a future plot point if the Bad Batch continues into more seasons. I could see Benny returning. But for now, the people won against their oppression, and though this was on a small scale, we all know how it eventually happens against the Empire as well. The bad guy oppressing space is even disposed of in the same way as Palpatine, dropped in a massive hole. Let's just hope Mako doesn't return in episode 9 of season 3 or 4 or 5. Well, I had to get the joke in there. Overall, this was an alright episode of The Bad Batch. Season 2 remains hit or miss for me so far. The episodes of Crosshair, Commander Cody, and the ones that took place around the clone conspiracy were all fantastic. However, the episode where the crew are just running around after Sid remained lackluster and a little boring at times. While yes, the squad cannot always be involved in galactic conspiracies, some of the episodes do drag a fair bit. This episode makes a good use of plot points to continue the story along, however it still somewhat falls flat. While introducing the character Benny is cool, as he's our thief who was stolen by Havoc Marauder, he is just a one-shot character. Technically we can count on him as also featured in last week's episode, but not really. He does almost get a little redemption arc with Omega towards the end of the episode, however he'd already called the guards at this point, so I do feel like Benny is one of those characters that could return sometime in the future. His ending was rather sweet, but looking at the story, it was somewhat predictable. Of course, he would discover the truth and cause the other kids to turn on the crime boss. I am sure this story trope has been done before. In fact, I feel like you could take something from this like Star Wars Rebels and apply it here. Watching the final parts of the episode was rewarding, as we do see the kids rebel against a crime boss leader, but also Hunter and Omega's scene of swinging to be saved was really cool. Tech does create another scene of Omega at the end, this sim telling her that the galaxy is rough, but there are good people out there who want to help others. This can be tied to the whole of the Rebel Alliance when you think about it, and we can look at Andor as a comparison. In total, this episode is summed up and explained really well at the end. The episode is essentially a micronism of the Star Wars galaxy as a whole, with the episode and Marco's oppression of the kids being similar to the oppression of the galaxy as a whole by the Empire. This theme is somewhat explained to us in quite a heavy-handed way, but it does work. Okay, Exalted Ones, that's it myself. What do you think of today's Bad Batch episode? Does it keep your excitement for the season going, or like us, are you finding it a bit lacking as of late? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news, lore, and more. You can also follow us on social media as well, but make sure to let us know what you think in the video comment section below. Because if you're talking Star Wars, we want to hear about it. Okay, that's it myself doing Star Wars now. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Captain Jack, and we'll see you very soon. May the Force be with you.